All right, everybody, it's finally here. Season 19. Season 19 of Sister Wives debuted last night. What do we all think? Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Let's unpack it. Well, first of all, we have to address the fact that the show starts last night and TLC, because this has been the big debate, how they were going to handle the tragic passing of Garrison Brown. So last night, they have a cue card at the very beginning of the episode that says this episode was filmed in late 2022, so almost 2 years ago. Now, all of us that follow the show that are big fans, we knew that was the story. And then they have a card that says, Garrison Brown tragically passed away. He will forever be in our memories. We are blessed by his the presence and the time that we had here on earth with him. Okay. Something along that lines. I'm paraphrasing, but he'll be greatly missed. So they address it at least up front. However, the actual when it happened, all of that, it's still meaning we know that cameras were picked back up in April, March, April-ish of 2024 when he tragically passed away. So when will we see that? Will that be tied into the end of the season, or was this them acknowledging that it happened, but we're moving on? I don't know. I don't have any insight on that at this point, but very interesting. So I'm curious what you all thought of that. If you wanted more, if you wanted less of them addressing it, but there we have it. We have a lot to get to on this episode, per usual, all kinds of spoilers. So if you haven't watched season 19, episode 1, A House Divided, then, A House Divided can't stand, baby. Then probably, obviously, this is not the episode for you, or you may want to skip through. At the end of the episode, though, 2 big trending sister wives stories have come out. One is Kody Brown is sharing his regrets around the passing of Garrison Brown and things that he had done with his son. And now Janelle Brown has essentially responded to that and reveals if she and Kody talk, if they talk about Garrison's passing. So stick around for all that. And there's a lot of kind of online chatter too about Christine and Christine Brown Woolley's whole personality on season 19. So look, the hardest part about this show, I'm going to be honest, is this season to me just feels like TLC. They kept the same sofa that they all do their testimonials on. They kept the same hair, the same mic, the same makeup. Nothing seems new or fresh to me watching this, right? And we obviously know it was shot 2 years ago. So much has transpired. I mean, we're on episode 1. There's no mention of David Woolley when in fact we've already lived through Christine's engagement, her wedding, and a wedding special, a multi-part wedding special on TLC. So it feels a little stale, I'm going to be honest. Now, new information that you get, I think, is more about anger. We obviously find out that Maddie and Janelle were looking at homes in Montana before they ended up moving to the Carolinas where they are now. And Janelle is going to end up buying or building a home. So we learned some information like that, but it does feel a little dated. I will say this, Kody seems less angry. Robyn, to me, Rob girl, seems like the same playbook, right? Which is always blaming it kind of on Kody. Like Cody's really going through a hard time. I do feel a little bit of a sense with this episode that things have let up a bit, that he's not as angry at this point. He's letting go of things a little bit. They're really talking about moving forward with Coyote Pass. So the show opens and they are on the beautiful property of Coyote Pass, which I do have to say is gorgeous. We know at this point, Christine does not own a share. She took the money from the sale of her house there in Flagstaff, used it to move on, and just gave up her ownership of Coyote Pass. So Robyn tells Kody that, the big thing in that scene is they're there. And Kody says, I'm ready to sell, Robyn. I am ready to sell Coyote Pass. There's too many bad memories. The dream is gone. Polygamy doesn't work. It's shot. what a sad place we're in, where this experiment that we did really did not work out. And she's like, Robyn is saying to him, I can't even think like that. I can't think about that. I don't even say it. I'm not in that place. And in fact, essentially instructs Kody, go try to work it out with Janelle. That Janelle is still maybe holding out hope and it could work. Also, by the way, there was all those rumors going around this past year that Robyn has been on Ozempic. She did look skinnier, didn't she? Now, look, I mean, we don't spend a lot of time on this show talking about people's looks. Honey, certainly I have a variety of jean sizes in my closet, okay? So I don't spend a lot of time on that, but I will say Robyn looked thinner. She looked younger. They actually both looked really good outdoors. Other big thing about this season, I do have to say that I like lots more aerial shots. It's much more beautifully filmed, great mics. What was so frustrating last season, and of course it was because of COVID, but still it's like, dude, just test everybody and get like a camera crew in there. Was half of the season was shot on their cell phones. And I think it was actually the family. I think it was more Kody, Robyn. I think they didn't want camera crews. They were COVID, I don't know, terrified or whatever. So we didn't see the sound was crappy and it was like shot on an iPhone. So at least we're back to actual film crews. It looks like it's beautifully shot. I love the pics of Flagstaff, of even Nevada, of Utah, much more gorgeous. Okay. Kody talks about that he has, so then we move on to the kids, right? So Robyn looks good. She refers to herself as the idiot, because she's holding out hope that it's going to work with the other sister wives and they're completely gone. And then Kody talks about how there's two really funny scenes for me with Kody. One is this first one in the first half of the show where he talks about being excommunicated from his kids, essentially, and the other wives, that he's been excommunicated. It's almost like he can't get a hold of the kids. The women have conspired against him. He's on the outs. That's really the theme of this episode, is the Codemeister thinks he's on the outs. So then we move on to the very first scene where Kody and Robyn are going to be in the same room as Christine. It's not the David Woolley scene yet. Christine for McKelty's twin baby shower. And it's more of a baby sprinkle because she's already has an older child. So it's a baby sprinkle. Again, I mean, McKelty's kids are going to be, I believe, almost 2 years old. Like, it's so, of course, right? This was shot 2 years ago. Hello, Sarah. The lights have gone on. So it's so weird to me. It's just so dated. I love that they have a gambling theme, by the way, for this baby sprinkle. Aren't they like, they used to be religious and Mormons, well, a Mormon sect, and you can't, like, you can't gamble. I thought that was like part of the whole thing. Anyhow, they're up there, and I mean, they've got like somebody running a table. I don't know if they're placing real bets, but Christine's like, oh, are you doing blackjack? You know how to play 21? Like, I mean, they're having a grand old time gambling away. Okay. Janelle can't go. Mary's not invited. We obviously know Christine, Mary, and Janelle are not good friends at this point. And Mary confesses in this episode that the other women at this point in filming don't even know that she has left Kody and Robyn. So I'm sure part of the reason too Christine didn't want her there is there's a connection to Kody and Robyn. But Kody and Robyn show up at this sprinkle. They do not talk at all. Now, this is where people online are having a big issue. A lot of people feel as though Christine is petty. Like, Christine's actually continuing to get a lot of backlash. And I'm really curious if a little bit Christine becomes the villain of this season and we give Kody and Robyn a break. I'm just saying, because the chatter online is like, she's petty. If you're so happy to be divorced and last season you were preaching divorce, why aren't you going up to them and just saying, hey, how are you? You know how much it means to your kids. Like, you are not really civil. You don't want to be civil. And a lot of people find her to be insufferable now. And a lot of that insufferable backlash is coming from her social media because Christine all of them have MLMs, all of them sell various products. More power to you, babe. I mean, listen to my commercials. I'm in the commercial biz. So I understand I'm not in the MLM biz, but they have a commercial. They're getting their coins. Now, the other thing I thought was interesting is the new graphics for this show. They all look fabulous in these graphics. Like they're very glam. And I'm talking about the promotional show graphics that you see with all the sister wives and Kody and Robyn. And the initial one that dropped for season 19, a lot of people felt like Mary, Janelle, Christine were all in light colors, and Kody and Robyn were in dark colors. So a little bit of like good versus evil. Kody was kind of in the middle, separating Robyn. But if you noticed into the commercial break, they actually used a new graphic where Robyn is in the middle. So what does that mean? I mean, is that foreshadowing of Robyn leaving Kody? You have to ask, because Robyn says in this episode that things are not particularly good between them, and it's been the roughest they've ever been. Then they come back, they do some more new opening shots. They even have one of the Mormon church, I'm sure to symbolize the fact that they're in Utah, because that's where Christine lives. That's where they're having this baby sprinkle. But just interesting, I thought, because they are not really associated with the church anymore. I don't think any of them are particularly religious. Christine, says she wants her kids to have a relationship with Kody and Robyn. McKelty, she adores her daughter, McKelty, and McKelty is close to Kody and Robyn will be there when the twins are born. Robyn makes no effort either to say hi to Christine. And Robyn says in the episode, her excuse for that is, well, Christine has told me she wants no relationship with me, so I don't want to force myself on Christine. Okay. Can't you all say hi? I mean, it is like, to me, this is the thing, and knock on wood, I've never been divorced. I hope to never experience it. But it's like, are we all in that we hate each other? Or is there any, like, isn't Christine thrilled to be happy? And isn't the ultimate form of revenge, like living well? Just being like, hey, how are you two? Like, thinking in your mind, like, misery loves company, you fucks. Like, I mean, right? What Anyhow, nobody talks to anyone. And again, Robyn talks throughout this episode that she and Kody are not in a good place. And one of the reasons she hints at that they are not in a good place is because Robyn says, that Kody believes Robyn will leave him next. I mean, again, is this a little nugget? Like, is this possible? Robyn could leave. And then the other thing I thought was really funny is Kody and Robyn talk about how they never talk crap about Janelle, Mary, or Christine. Never in front of the kids. They never want to taint anyone's opinion. They never talk bad about the other sister wives. Do we believe that? Do we believe that? They seem all consumed. You're telling me they're not confiding in Aurora a bit? Dayton ain't getting an earful once in a while? Okay, then the other thing is that people are talking about is Kody. I don't know if this was a misslip or if this is another indicator that Kody likes to wear panties. I don't know. I think he was trying to just say the old saying. At one point, he says, he's so frustrated with the family, and he breaks down crying, and he admits that the dream is over of this polygamist family, and he admits that, look, eventually I'll get my panties unwadded about this whole thing. And I'm like, okay, I think you mean like your knickers are in a knot. I just don't usually hear guys say that. So are the dude's panties in a wad, or is that a saying, or is this guy rocking Robyn's undies? I don't know. It just seemed odd to me. Then we see that Isabel is moving to Salt Lake City and going to the University of Utah. Maddie is Priggers as well. And we kind of have this reunion of Janelle and Christine, and they're moving her. And they basically come back to Kody, and they want to talk about Maddie, because Janelle alludes to the fact that Maddie has a very strange relationship with her dad, and Kody shuts it down. Won't talk about it. Doesn't want to talk about it. Doesn't want to engage at all. I'm gonna say this. This is where I wrestle with this show because it is so good offline, like the drama, the tea, now the house being sold, Akira, the creator that toured the house and got all the gossip on their family. Like, it's so good, all the drama outside of the show, but the show itself feels as though none of them will go there. It's giving me very Kim Plath and Barry Plath vibes. They will not really say how they feel, and I do think that signals the beginning of the end of a reality show. You have to go there. It's Kris Jenner famously said when they signed up, they were going to go all in. They were going to say it all. Now they don't, of course, like it's very edited, but that's to me like, yeah, that's a sign of an end. I think the Kardashians on Hulu's in trouble too. So Kody refuses to talk about Maddie, and we do find out that Maddie and Janelle are looking to purchase a home in Montana, potentially. Obviously, we know they don't go that route, but that was what they were talking about. Then Kody says that because obviously producers come back to him and they say, oh, Maddie and Janelle are looking for homes. And he goes, it's because this was the other line I found so funny. He goes, my family knows I suffer from FOMO, fear of missing out. And anytime they can put me on the outs, anytime, they're going to do it. And it's like, okay, what have you done to make any effort? I mean, all these people can't be lying when they say like they never hear from you. Then we go to Mary. Mary goes to Las Vegas, Nevada. She visits her friend Brandy. She updates Brandy that she's divorced and she's pretty angry. She's pretty angry with Kody and Robyn still at this point. And she even takes a big dig at Robyn, basically saying, yeah, I have been discarded. I'm now out on my own. I'm 50 something years old. What do I have? And by the way, Kody is a real douche, essentially, for choosing me 30 years ago. And when Robyn was 12, and you're like, and she makes an emphasis to go, and Robyn was 12. Okay. I guess just a reminder that Robyn was 12 when they were starting their family. So Mary's like very bitter. And at the end of the episode, we see Mary say that she believes. Oh, well, the other thing I thought was very funny before the episode wrapped up was Kody also says that, yeah, he's like, here I am, these women, lucky them, they all had the choice to leave. I had no choice. I couldn't leave. It's like, dude, didn't you like take one wife, go build an entire house? You purchased a house, all on your own. Like, I think you've been leaving the whole time, pal. Anyway, and then the last scene is really good because it's a little bit like, it's a little kind of threatening Mary. Like, I mean, Mary threatening Kody. Where Brandy says, I think he's having a midlife crisis. And I think one day he will wake up and he's going to regret his decisions. And she's like, oh, he will. And he will pay for what he has done. And I'm like, oh, okay. Are we plotting and planning something behind the scenes? Like, damn. Okay. So anyhow, there we have the episode in a nutshell. But we're still very much a couple of years behind. Mary Brown I'm replaying the podcast interview today, right now on the Sarah Fraser show. If you want to hear some of the updated information about Mary and her BFF, Jen joins the show, but Mary's like moved on. She's had another boyfriend. She's dating. She's thinking about getting on Raya. So yeah, we've come a long way. Are you at all excited about this season? Are you going to watch because you're just an OG fan and you just kind of want to see how it plays out? But I do think definitely the beginning of the end. And I don't know, was that announcement of Garrison's acknowledgement of his passing like the only thing we're going to acknowledge this season? I think, guys, get ready. I don't know. Although they did say in the press release that it would be addressed. So maybe we are going to fast forward at the end. We'll see. Okay, two stories I wanted to get to that have been trending this past weekend. So both Janelle and Kody spoke to People magazine, people.com, and Kody Brown spoke out for the first time in regards to his son Garrison's sudden death. And he tells people the hard part is giving away the future that I saw for him, the excitement. It's strange having your child pass. The wave of grief is different than any wave of grief I have ever had, a best friend passing, with a relative passing. It is so different. It is different in the idea that it's irreconcilable, the future that we missed. He goes on to say that we could have been talking more. I did get texts, is what he says, stuff like that. And we could have retrospectively, we could have done so much more, he said. And it was almost like, I'm busy with my life. Garrison was busy with his life. We'll connect when we connect. It was kind of like we've got forever. It's more like it was a convenience of time that I felt like I had. Retrospectively, there would have been more of a regular catching up and touching base, is what he says. And he says, like, if he could go back, he wishes right now that he said the biggest thing is I would love to go to dinner again with Garrison. I want to sit down with him. I want to have a beer. I want him to try and make me laugh because he was that kind of way. The only regret is just, gosh, I would just do that more often, he says. The only regret is that you didn't do something. You didn't take more time. So I'm wondering if that's a deep enough apology, or not really even apology, but acknowledgement from fans, because we have been waiting for a long time to hear how Kody and Robyn are doing. Kody says that he's absolutely still grieving. So I don't know. Is that what fans were looking for? I mean, the texting thing is interesting because I guess that stands by what we've all heard, which was Kody and Garrison hadn't spoken on the phone, but there were text messages. And so there you have it. And then Janelle responded. And Janelle says that she and Kody now do speak after Garrison's passing. She says, and not only that, but Janelle really clarifies where the healing and connection has been in the family. Now, Mary also talks about this on the interview that she did with me. But Janelle says Kody and I will periodically check in on each other, and he's kind of grieving in his own way. But I live a very separate life from him, and I do wish everybody well, she shares. I think that maybe it puts perspective. Maybe it does. Maybe you're not quite so angry or whatever. She also says that a lot of the kids have reconnected. I love the kids. I love hanging out with them, she continues. And Christine and I remain close. Obviously, we have very different lives. We're kind of going in different directions, but we remain close. In terms of her relationship with other sister wives, Janelle says that fans will see how she and Mary will be given the opportunity to come together in an upcoming season of the TLC show. Interesting. I just really hope, I really do wish all the good things for Kody, Robyn, and Mary, she adds. She also says the kids, as I mentioned, have come together. Some of them have healed their relationships. She says, especially the kids, Christine's kids, Mary's child, my children have really reinforced relationships and maybe renewed some that were struggling, she explains. They've drawn closer, and that's been a really wonderful thing to see. So you wonder, are we going to hear more from McKelty and Tony, like, or McKelty and Leon closer? Because we know they were kind of two that really didn't connect or get on. So there we have some big updates on family dynamics and what's happened. All right, just a reminder, every single Monday here on TSFS, I am going to recap Sunday night's episode. You can also follow along on my Reddit, reddit.com/r/the Sarah Fraser show, and any breaking news and stories we have. It'll be here. It'll be on. So I can't wait to hear what you guys thought of this. If you thought it was a snooze fest. I'd also read a lot of people said, all the clips that they put out, I've basically seen the entire episode. I didn't feel that way because I thought there was some insight on Coyote Pass that wasn't out there. There was some insight on at the sprinkle where Christine and Kody hadn't, or Christine, Kody, and Robyn did not speak. So that was kind of fascinating, I thought. And then also Mary's sort of veiled threats. Like, that'd be awesome. Like, let's see Mary go on all-out war against Robyn and Kody. That's the show we want. All right. Bye, everybody.